Smile and breathe deeply, boys and girls. I'm Frank Vaccaro from Dragon Flow Yoga. So I've been practicing calisthenics for about 9 months, and I see a lot of upper body stuff, and I'm sure there's also a lot of leg stuff, but they don't emphasize it as much as upper body stuff. So I wanted to release 2 videos. One is on leg exercises that I do standing up, and the second one will be leg exercises I do seated or lying down. So essentially, I work a lot with yoga poses and or kung fu poses, and there's some variations of ballet poses that I use, although I'm not very good at ballet. You might need a chair, or you might not need a chair at all. So I'll show you some of the exercises. So I use a lot the kung fu horse stance, and so you can actually use this in a very dynamic way by pulsating. So usually I go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here, if you feel that you're losing your balance, you can use the chair to keep your balance, right? Just like so. So you count to 10 to 15, as many as you want. Then, one thing I like is using the chair pose from yoga, just like that. And again, you can actually pulsate with this, using the chair or without the chair for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So generally in yoga, chair pose is done like this, but there's a pose in kung fu that I call goalie pose, where your feet are more pigeon-toed. The ankles are much further apart, and this will work out the side of the leg a little bit more. Now you could stay here statically, or you can actually lift and bend. Be very mindful of your knees here, because your knees are in a bit of a compromised situation. So go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So again, don't mistake this with the pigeon toeing of the feet to this. Completely different sensation in the legs, right? Another one I like to use is cat stance. Now, cat stance is this. Again, you could hold the chair or without the chair. Just try and keep your upper body straight. Now, if you want to do it a bit dynamically, you lengthen and lower. Let's just do 5 on each side. So for 4, exhale, 3, exhale, 2, exhale, and 1. Exhale. Inhale, come up. And let's do cat stance opposite side. So 5, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, the movement of the arms are optional. Really what you want to focus on is the legs. So the ballet stuff I was telling you about, basically it's horse stance, but instead of keeping the feet parallel or inwardly rotated, you really externally rotate and you exaggerate the external rotation. Now this is really going to work the inside of the leg. So here you may or may not need the chair, but if you don't, just lift for 10, 9, and if you want to add the hands, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, your ballet stance, you can actually start bringing the ankles a little closer towards each other, and the sensation starts to change a little bit. So we're just going to go for 3, 2, 1. Bring them close again. Normally I would ask you to do 10 or 15, but for the sake of the video, let's keep it short. And so again, 3, 2, and 1. Bring them closer still. For 3, for 2, for 1. Closer still. 3, for 2, and 1. So we all know Warrior 1 high lunge pose, right? Here you can get creative. You can either just come straight into Warrior 1 and pulsate with the high lunge. We'll just do it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or you can completely squat to the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do the opposite side. So again, bring the leg back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One Kung Fu pose I really like, I find it conditions the legs and builds flexibility in the groins and hamstrings. It's called the low stance. Be very slow and gentle because you don't want it to torque your knees, right? So you come into horse stance again and you lower towards the right hand side. You can keep the foot grounded on the floor or you can come to the ankle. So just do 10, okay? And then you gently shift. Make sure you engage the muscle in the leg. Go to the opposite side for 9, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Another Kung Fu pose you can use is the resting stance. And I don't know why they call it the resting stance. There's nothing restful about it. But what you do is you actually bring the right foot over left. It's almost as if, you know, like the Michael Jackson thing where he turns around. I don't know how to do that well, so don't really laugh, but it's almost setting up for that. So you can stay here, or you can completely lower down. And now from here, you can actually lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This will work out the whole side of the leg. Let's do the opposite side. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want to show you 2 more calisthenic leg exercises that I find amazing for the quads and legs. Very simple. We'll just do 5 on each side and the 2 sets, right? So lift the left leg, 5, and lower down. What you want to do is keep the upper body straight for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Opposite leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then towards the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Opposite for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There's obviously more leg exercises we can do. I just wanted to give you guys a couple of ideas. And then if you want, you don't even have to do it in a repetitive fashion. You can actually use these stances almost like a dance. And that's actually what they do in Kung Fu. So let's say example, you come into resting stance, you flip, come into low stance, turn, come into warrior 1, jump back into horse stance. You can do your little ballet pivot. You can come back into the goalie pose, back into warrior 1. So have fun with it. From here, cat stance, other cat stance, lower down again, opposite. So this keeps you particularly fit. Use your imagination, and there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with the body. And so when it comes to legs, don't do stuff just to make your legs strong. Do stuff that makes your legs really kind of agile and mobile. And so that's it. I'm going to see you guys in video number 2. Namaste.